And a great big welcome from the sports show during this festive season of warmth and happiness. We're going to be talking about veterans cricket on the show today. I've got two very special guests with me here today, two prominent figures, should we say, on the cricketing scene, especially in Tower Hamlets. Where on my left here now, I have Sajid Patel, who is the co-founder of the National Cricket League. Welcome to the show.
Thank
Sajid.
you. It's good to be back.
And to my far left here, I have Ashfaq Alam, who's a National Cricket League committee member. He also manages and plays for the Premier Division and Pro 40 champions West Essex, and he's also captain, I would like to add, of the over 50s indoors team. Both of you, a great big welcome from the sports show to our show. Thank you for coming in. I want to talk to you about something that's fascinating me as well, the resurgence of veterans, so we say, not just in cricket as well, but generally in sports, whether it's football or cricket or other sports as well. We've seen a mini, should we say, revolution in East London, especially where people such as yourselves, pioneering projects like the National Cricket League, have engaged not only with younger players as well, Sajid, but you've taken it onto the next level now, where you've decided, right, we can't have a cut-off point where players reach a certain stage and they retire now as well. We're going to actually prolong their careers, whether they're playing at a fledgling level or actually very decent level in the National Cricket League. We're going to provide them, or we're going to have provisions in place to try and extend their careers as much as possible. What was the thinking behind having, should we say, provision for over 50s?
I think the thinking behind it was obviously that myself, I would consider obviously being a second generation South Asian, coming from the ranks through my dad. My dad played cricket, obviously retired from playing, obviously could not compete. And not only him, because I've grown up watching him and his players and other players, which I have so much respect for. These guys have shown us the way of how cricket should be played within the United Kingdom, within London itself. So they're the ones, we felt that having to pay a tribute to these guys, it's like a testimonial for them to continue the game as what some of the things you've already echoed, was that getting them to play cricket on a longer term, giving them a platform on a level playing field that they would be in a comfort zone for them. We do have many over 50s, like Ashfaq, but still playing in top standard cricket in the Premier Division. But there are some players who are obviously not able to maintain that level. Sometimes the health and well-being comes into play. With that, hopefully it's a promotion of health and well-being, that we want to make sure they continue playing cricket, we continue engaging the over 50s. Hopefully we can work with them by keeping them in the game. Either they are involving by either playing cricket or getting them involved in coaching or becoming umpires. That's the whole aim of why we're engaging over 50s.
So the ethos there, it sounds absolutely wonderful, is to keep them involved in this great sport.
Yeah.
And for them to find their own niche, whatever they may be, whether it's cricketing or volunteering at a cricket club or coaching or managing. So there's something there for everybody to remember. And what do you think is the primary benefit of keeping, should we say, our senior figures involved in sports such as cricket?
I mean, keeping the senior figures involved in sports, and especially in cricket, I've come across very fascinating senior members who have given us so much experience, so much ways of how they've journeyed, their challenges they've faced in playing the sport of cricket within London, and obviously many around the United Kingdom who have faced those similar challenges. So what we wanted to do is trying to engage with those people, respect them, because they're the ones who've shown us how to play the sport, how we can take it. We have our senior members who have set the foundation for us. They've set a legacy, and we've now looked at enhancing it and taking it to the next level of how we can still get them to play the sport they love, because they've been playing the sport for a long time. I'm in my 40s, but I love the sport so much, and I've been playing for a long time. So you can imagine the length of time and the journey they've had. It's hard to walk away from the sport like cricket or any sport in general.
Ashfaq, but you've got an enviable CV. I'm full of admiration for what you've achieved in the game, and you continue to be involved, should we say, at different levels of the game. You know, you're involved on a management level with your colleagues such as Sajid. in managing and delivering projects through the National Cricket League as well. You're captaining, you're managing, you're coaching, all these things. Can you tell us a little bit about your coaching, not your coaching journey, your cricketing life?
I was 13 years old when I started cricket. So which means you could say I'm 51 now, so it's good 35 years more than that. I'm playing cricket. But I start from Pakistan, when I born in Pakistan, so I start from there. I go school, I play in the school, I play in the college, then I play on the district level, and then I come here, then I start playing here, the leagues. A lot of leagues I play, and then we go in National Cricket League. Sajid and Patel, they come to us and said, we have to make a new league. And we said, oh, we are with you lot. You carry on. Whatever sport you want, we could give it to you. And they are managing very well. So National Cricket League is the base actually for the older people, like over 50. They were very good with over 50, because over 50 before that, National Cricket League introducing over 50. Otherwise, before that, nobody recognized these kind of things for the older people. But the older people, if they're staying in the game, a lot of youngsters, they could learn from them. Even we don't do coaching or something like that, but whichever youngster play with me, I go experience, I could say to them, okay, no, this way, no, this way, is better for you. So obviously, our older people teach us, and now we are teaching to our youngster.
And I think what you need to bear in mind, viewers, is when you look at, it's just like itself, when you reach a certain stage in your life and you reach a certain age, it's very easy for us as society to put members, should we say older generation members, whether they're family, colleagues, friends, neighbors, what we tend to do is we park them up. And let's put ourselves into their shoes and just think, one day there's a cricketer, for example, they may be playing on a Sunday in the NCL, or they may be playing on a Saturday, and all of a sudden you just expect them to just cut it short because opportunities are being made for new fledgling cricketers, which is right. You know, the opportunities should be awarded to and afforded to the young players themselves. But what happens? Do they just switch off, and how do they cope? And I mean, this must have been very strong in your planning and your thinking, Sajid, when you introduced, because as Ashfaq Bhai has just said, I can't think of any other cricketing league or organisation with such great provision for, should we say, senior figures. There's one or two football, like Sonali Otit, for example, when it comes to football, they're catering for older footballers and getting them used to life beyond retirement, and not only that, just engaging them as well. But they must have been at the forefront of your thinking when you set up provision and support for over 50s.
Yeah, well, as I said, there's a lot of planning which has gone in place, and we obviously engage with the members as well. We speak to over 50 players who are in that sort of age range. What would you like to see? How would you like to see playing cricket? We did a 3-week program in the summer where we got over 50s playing cricket. We engaged with about 60 different players playing cricket, 2020 league, 2020 cricket. That's what we did at Leighton Sports Ground. And the way we delivered it is that a lot of the over 50s have not played together with each other or against each other for a long time. And it brought back memories, you know, certain players, I've hit 6 here, I've hit 4 here, I've taken wickets here. And what it is, it's a smile on their faces, it's the freshness you see when they come on the ground and they're playing cricket. It's because the love of the game is still within them. And the whole aim and purpose is that we're now looking at progressing that even further. We're looking at how can we cater people who are 60 to 70-year-olds as well. And we're looking at things as what football is doing, walking football. We're looking at something doing similar like walking cricket. So there are plans in place for engaging over 50s. There's a platform for over 50s who are able to continue playing on a sort of competitive phase in their level playing field. And those who are sort of suffering from slight critical medical issues. So walking cricket could be something which could hopefully keep them in the game as well.
Ashfaq Bhai, with your various roles, should we say, management consultant, coach, manager, as a player, and you've obviously been playing cricket since you were a teenager. When the National Cricket League engages with older players like this, do you feel that they receive more benefits apart from the obvious benefits like becoming stronger physically and exercising? Do you think it has benefits such as keeping them mentally for their mental well-being and socializing and meeting with old friends and making new friends? Do you think it's beneficial like that as well?
Yes, a lot. Because sometimes in busy life, maybe some of the players they didn't meet with them each other. Maybe when they are young, they're playing each other or against each other. But when they go old a little bit, then they're busy with their life. They didn't meet each other. But when they come in the ground, even they don't know he's coming or who's coming. But when they come in the ground, they say, "Oh, we are playing 10 years ago with you. We are playing 20 years ago with you."
Wow.
They're so happy to see these kind of players and good friends maybe, but because of their life is very busy, so they are very busy in their life doing this, doing that for the kids and whatever they do. So they didn't meet each other. But in the summer, once or twice a week, they could meet each other and they were very happy because the old memories come back for them, Lord. And when the old memories come back, even I'm 50 years old. When I look at the back, my old friend come, which one playing with me used to be, and now I see them, Lord. I am so happy. Then we sit down and we could talk. Oh, you remember this? Remember that? Remember this? Remember that? So old memories come back. It's much benefited.
Excellent. Sajid, so the National Cricket League and the initiatives that you're setting up there, they are not only promoting unity within the community, they're providing a whole host of benefits in terms of justice provision alone.
Yeah, but what it is as you said, the National Cricket League, obviously we're providing cricket as a vehicle to
Yes.
everyone. As you know, that we're catering to a wider audience from the age of 7 years to 65. So it's a vision that we have to try and cater and providing certain shop windows, as we could call it, because obviously different players, different abilities, different genders, different age groups will need to have a station for them to access to, a workshop for them to access to. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to work very closely with Essex Cricket. We are working with Essex. They are our partners. Obviously, Club Cricket Compass are good for us as well. Essex, Arfan Akram and Dan Feast. We're working very close by them. What they admire is the vision, the drive that we deliver to cricket, and some of the things that one thing I'll have to echo, and I'd like to say in front of the camera about Mr. Dan Feast, who's the head of operation of Essex. What he does is he wants community programs to run from the ground, from the work from the ground, and he's welcoming us to do it because we're the ones who are working on the ground, so we would understand what challenges we face. So they are there to help us. And same with the Club Cricket Conference, they do similar things. They give us guidance of how we can approach certain ways of delivering stuff. We do obviously have an interaction with these bodies as well as our community as well. So I mean, we're a listening project. We'd like to listen to people. We like to do surveys, and we like to monitor on how we can provide cricket while bringing the community together.
Ashfaq bhai, do you think cricket, and especially the cricket provision and what we're talking about, and the indoor league for over 50s, and just generally playing cricket, I should say, is it bringing the young and old together? Is it improving relationships with younger adults and the elderly as well?
Yes. Because when you're playing in the ground, you forget who's older and who's younger. So you play as a friend. Obviously, when you're playing together, like if I'm playing, and a lot of in my team, they got 25 years old, 20 years old. They are playing when they're playing in the ground. They give me respect, but they are like a friend with me. So I could teach them a lot better. I could say to them a lot better what to do, rather than if they just give me the respect and don't. If they're a bit shy from me or stay away from me because I am a bit older from them. Lot. But when we're playing in the ground together, obviously then we are playing as a friend and as a team. So when I took the wicket, they come to me. They're not shy when you're playing together. But when you're not playing together, obviously the youngster a little bit shy from the older people. Well, he's older. If we go near to him, or if we are talking something, which one he maybe don't like it. But when we're playing together, they know he's our friend. He's not okay, he's older than us, but he's our friend in the ground. So we could celebrate with him, like we are celebrating with the friends. So obviously they get benefits.
Sajid, how would you, in terms of the delivery of these projects and cricketing initiatives, just looking at the over 50s again, how would you reach out to hard to reach members of society? So somebody has, for example, come up to you and said, Sajid, as co-founder and leader of the National Cricket League, I have got someone who used to play a very good standard of cricket many years ago. They haven't lost it, but maybe they have got some issues within their lives that have taken them away from the sport. I believe this person may really benefit from you engaging with them. How would you react to a question like that?
Reacting to a question like that is obviously that if we are providing a program for them, like an open door program, an open session, then that's something that we could look at. If obviously we're doing a league, most of the teams will have their players, their regular players who they've already selected from or have recruited from. But as I said, there are ways that we are looking at, especially the fascinating one of the walking cricket.
Yes.
We're actually working very close by with Waltham Forest Council with the sports development team. Now, what we're going to try and do is arrange a meeting with the people who are in sheltered accommodation. These are those who are 55 and overs and have some medical needs. So we're going to look at doing taster programs in their lounge or in their communal area, just to give them a little bit of an encouragement to say, look, this is what cricket's all about, this is what walking cricket's all about. And if someone's able to do more than walking cricket and play more competitive, then we can look at that pathway we can create to saying, okay, we can tell our teams that we have got a player who's 50 plus, looks fairly useful player, it'll be beneficial for your team. So we can look at that, or we can engage and look for leaders who can create a team from there. So that is what we're trying. We're trying to build up. We're trying to provide opportunity. We're trying to make sure that we can provide. It's a regeneration program, and it can provide a pathway for them on different steps that they can take, whatever can cater them. Right. So if it's something for walking cricket for those who are slightly able or not able as much, or those who are obviously are able to compete in the league format.
That sounds brilliant. So it doesn't matter whether they're complete novices or they played at a very decent standard in their life. There will be something available to engage them with. That's what you're trying to say.
We're trying to build participation, raise the participation, helping the likes of Essex County Cricket Board, the English and Wales Cricket Board. We're trying to bring growth into the game of cricket. We do this with young members. We have a lot of young members who come to us when we run our youth programs. I know we're talking more over 50s, but we are engaging those novices who've never held a bat before, bowled before, or never played cricket before. Similar, we want to make sure that we can do that with the over 50s. If those who have come from a footballing background or not from a sport background at all, we want to make sure that cricket can play a part, not only physically, as you mentioned, mentally, because a lot of these guys can be closeted, isolated from the society, and from communities. We want to make sure that they come out and they stay with us, mix in with the society, mix in with the communities. Hopefully it can help them physically and mentally. So
being an inclusive organisation with the wonderful projects that you're leading on, do you get many inquiries from women, whether they're older generation or younger ones, who wish to participate in cricket, whether it's a training session or coaching or even playing?
We do get inquiries of women. Don't get me wrong. The issue, the challenges we face at the moment is obviously not enough demands are out there. There are projects out there women are doing. I know Saba Naseem, very good friend of mine. She does wonders of work in coaching for women's and girls cricket in Redbridge. And we do try and, if we can't cater that, we do obviously refer them to different programs.
Signpost them to.
Yeah. So hopefully the beautiful thing about East London and Essex itself, we have so many programs that we can cater people to different shop windows. NCO has their projects, but there are other projects out there that we can obviously look at referring them to.
Ashfaq bhai, you're in a very good position at the moment now. You've got your foot, should we say, on both pitches, so you can still compete in general mainstream cricket, whether he's playing in the league for West Essex, and also you're probably one of the senior players when it comes to the over 50s as well. Talking about the over 50s, how competitive are they?
A lot of players actually they want to play cricket even over 50, but sometimes they like Sajid encourage the people. Nobody encourage them a lot. Come play. They think, oh no, we are not fit enough to play. But when we introduce the over 50, believe me, lot of over 50, they come. They want to play again. Some people maybe they left it. They're not playing for years. When we introduce that, they come to play. So it's very competitive for them.
I think it's similar. Well, I just want to finish you off on that, because obviously, as I spoke about, I did say, it's depending on the character that they are. So obviously, if the character is competitive, like they want to win at any cost, those players will come and play that way. So regardless of how they physically are, they will still be competitive. And there is a lot of competitive in the over 50s. We had a very good season with two teams battling up right to the final. And the standards we saw in that game itself, we're talking about the indoor league we did last year, was unbelievable. I think some of these over 50s can play good standard cricket. That's how competitive it was.
All the matches go in the last over.
Yes.
All the matches between that two teams. One is my team and one is winner. All the matches go in the end of the last over, and one or two matches go up to the last ball.
Wow. And I couldn't agree more, because one example I remember of a veteran cricketer from last year, should we say last year's Essex County Cricket League, and we had a young man, age 54 and a bit. His name was Iqbal Patel, and he came in for one game. And he's actually Sajid's clansman, and he's a total legend within that area as well. And he came in for one game. Now, if you take into consideration that he's a complete stranger, he's been called in by our team captain to come and fill in a gap for a game. Not only that, he opened on that day and he scored 70 odd runs. I know I'm a bit selfie crazy generally, but I actually went up to him at the end of the game and I gave him a hug and I took a selfie. But you know, the most poignant moment there was Hamilton Lions, who we beat on that day as well. They all came and shook his hands as well. And this is a gentleman, who, like I say, a sprightly young gentleman who was aged 54. So what Ashfaq Bhai is saying there, and Sajid just finished off saying that when you actually go and watch them, it's not what you're thinking, that they're doing it at a walking pace, and you know, it can be quite full of comedy gold. There are some seriously good cricketers. What the National Cricket League is doing at the same time is they are relentless in their pursuit for providing should we say, services to the community. So those who are in their 60s and coming up to their 70s as well, the National Cricket League would not stop there. In their relentless pursuit of providing these sessions, they will continue to provide something. And if that means walking cricket for some people, they will do. Now, coming back to Sajid again, you had an amazing day. It was my first time attending the National Cricket League Annual Awards this year. I think, was it the fourth one?
No, fifth one.
The fifth one as well. It was brilliant. Now, all I want to ask you about is, I really enjoyed, I go to quite a lot of award ceremonies, whether it's as a recipient or as a guest. And what I really enjoyed about what the National Cricket League was, whether it was one individual who was receiving something at the bottom of the ladder, or whether it was the Premier League champions, you provided them with the same stage, the same honour, the same, should we say, limelight there. And it was absolutely brilliant. How important is it for you to celebrate everybody involved within the cricket that you provide?
Well, what it is that every single member who supports the league is an equal, because obviously them coming on board playing in the National Cricket League, either they're a player, they're club reps who are representing their teams, or they're match officials, or even people like yourselves who support us through media as well. We appreciate everyone's support which has made it happen. I mean, our whole project started in 2012. And what it was that in 5 years, this was a 10-year business plan of where we are today. And we done it in 5 years. And that's credit goes down to every single individual, teams and the whole family. And obviously media, you guys are part of that journey, part of that family as well. And we congratulate, we appreciate the work that you do as well through behind, in the media as well. And we feel that anyone coming on stage, they've got to have their moment. And yes, a lot of people said, well, you do. I do raise my voice, but I do it with passion, with heart.
Of course you do. It's very genuine.
Yeah, it's just that I feel like going through a marathon of trophies, as you saw, and amount of competitions that we have to conduct. But I tell you what, this award ceremony was the best one out of the 5 attempts that we did.
Sure.
Obviously, there's room for improvement, but it was everyone enjoyed themselves. We always we listened to the members. Some of the members said, bring in music, bring in a DJ, bring in this, that. It takes a thing, and I think the champion song with Dwayne Bravo went down superbly with the teams enjoying it.
Still playing in my head, Sajid.
Oh, does it?
It's still playing in my head.
I've got it on my ringtone as well. It's all about being thinking outside the box, thinking of how can we, keep improving, keep delivering, bring smiles to people. What are the mechanisms that we need to look at? And these are the sort of things that we look at by engaging with the people, taking on suggestions, with solutions. Some people do come up with very good ideas, and that's the way we take it on board.
And have players provided you with good feedback about the award ceremony as well? Iqbal Bhai, you said
a lot.
Okay.
A lot good.
For me, as someone who observes these things very, very strictly, and I don't hold back. When things are mediocre, I have never held back. I actually go up to the organisers and I say, you know what, you did a terrible job there. I was extremely, and don't forget, I've been to awards at City Hall, been to Buckingham Palace, I'm fortunate enough to say. But this is for me, going to my first ever, and I want it to be on record as well, and I want our viewers to listen to this. But for me, going to the National Cricket League awards night was ultra special for me. And like I said, what struck me most was whether it was somebody who's doing an obscure coaching role in a school somewhere, or somebody who's volunteering somewhere, or the captain of the Premier League, Premier Division champions. Everybody, as Sajid said, everybody had their moment. And for me, that was absolutely, everywhere I looked, there were nice, happy, smiley faces. People were doing, even the guests who were out there handing out, whether it was, I'll give you another example. Our second division trophy, I was talking to Ayaz, our captain, and I said, before you hand it back, can I please take it? Because I need to take it to a few places where I need to get some pictures. And he said, no, there's no rush. This is for us to keep. And I said, you mean we actually get to keep this one as well? They said, this is the National Cricket League. You get it? So that was a bit of a shock for me, because I thought that was on loan, the big trophy, and we had to return it. So my esteem for the National Cricket League went up another 10 notches. I thought to myself, wow, so we actually get to keep this one as well. A lot of organisers, what they do is they have the main trophy. You can have it for a week, take your pictures, sleep with it, whatever you do with it, and then you must return it again as well. So I hope this success continues for a very, simply because of the interaction and the joy that you've brought to a lot of people. Ashfaq Bhai, who is your cricketing inspiration? Do you have a favourite player, coach, broadcaster that's inspired you?
Imran Khan.
Imran Khan. Any particular reason? I know it's an obvious one, but I would like you to say why.
When I was young, I started playing cricket. He's on the peak. I saw him playing, how he played, and he's a very good all-rounder too. And I want to be an all-rounder too. And I am all-rounder at the moment, but not like him. But I like him because he's a proper cricketer. Legend.
Absolutely. And not only that, he's blessed in every sense. He's good looking, swashbuckling, you name it. Imran Khan is there as well. And what's your favourite cricket team apart from Pakistan? Please name us another cricket team that's really impressed you. You can name one current team if you want, and say why.
Team India.
Okay. Any particular reason why?
Yes. Always India go very good batsman. And their batting skill is very good, and a good team. And plus, when you could say they are like Pakistan, Bangladesh, or India, they are almost same countries, same kind of countries. And when the player play, they play with passion. And India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, they go more passion than any other teams. At the moment, if you see England, or other teams, they go other games too, football or other team. But If you see Pakistan, India and Bangladesh, they go only cricket.
Yes.
And they love cricket so much. That's the level of passion. So obviously, if you didn't let me choose Pakistan,
For obvious reasons.
then I choose India, obviously.
Sajid, when we look at cricket generally, even now we have, I wouldn't even call them detractors, I would say people who observe, and they would say cricket is a very expensive sport, it's an elitist sport, it's a public school, should we say public school, grammar school sport, it's not for the, should we say, the working class. I beg to differ, having had engagement with you and watching you and interacting with you, and just seeing what the National Cricket League has been doing. Although I believe that this could and should be replicated not only in the UK as well, but over planet cricket, should we say as well. Do you feel that you've helped with your initiatives and schemes and the cricketing things that you do, that you've helped bridge the gap between our societies?
I think what we've done is we changed the culture to cricket itself. Either you're playing mainstream cricket through to hardball cricket or playing tape ball cricket. I mean, tape ball cricket is more social guys who just come and just enjoy themselves with their bats and balls and stumps. That's all they have. They don't need to have pads, they don't need to have helmets. And the tape ball is obviously the tennis ball wrapped around with tape. And it gives a similar replication to the game of cricket. And
Sure.
it's a good promotion tool for people either to enjoy it. And it's a short version where people finish work or finish school, and it happens a lot in India and Pakistan. I'm sure it happens in Bangladesh as well, where they play gully cricket,
Yes.
alleyway cricket.
Yes.
So it's something that we're replicating to bring in it here, and there is a lot out there. And I think where we sort of have brought it in, and it's been sold now with the county boards, they see that they're also important members of participation, because they're playing. It's like football. Football is you've got a traditional 11-a-side playing on grass pitch, but you also have 5-a-side football where the goals are a lot smaller. Similar to cricket, there are very different versions that you can play. Any sport can be recreated. So having to have these sort of recreated programs, drawing people to playing the sport, who knows, they could possibly play tape ball to start off with, and then maybe go into traditional. It depends, again, of course it can be an expensive sport depending on how you spend your money. There are bats, people sell bats for 50 quid. If you go for the branded ones, they'll cost about 200 quid.
Absolutely.
So it all depends on how you budget yourself, how you prepare yourself. So cricket can be seen as an expensive sport and not an expensive sport.
Ashfaq bhai, how are you looking? I mean, looking at your role at West Essex, the new season obviously is a few months away yet in terms of that. How are you planning to retain your trophies and your titles? Are you going to recruit more? Are you going to stick with these players? Are you going to up your training?
At the moment, maybe if somebody want to play with us, he could welcome. But I go full team, and I go same team. Sajid bhai knows with this team we are playing around about 5-6 seasons now. Maybe one or two players, new player come, and one or two players go. But most of the players, like you could say, 7 to 9 player, is almost the same player, which one playing with me since we start NCL or before that even. We play other league. So we start from there, and we're still playing. It's not only we are playing together, we are very good friend too. So even we are not playing, like season is finished now, we're still meeting each other. We are ringing each other. It's not only in the ground or in the cricket. We are very good friends. So this team is like you could say they treat me like an older brother. So inshallah ta'ala, we try to win again.
Fantastic, and that's very good to hear. I will actually make a point, Ashfaq bhai, to try and come and watch you a few games in the summer. So when your fixtures do come out, please keep us posted, because we would love to come along and watch. And I've put it down in my diary as well that I would like to come and watch the veterans, the over 50s play in January as well. Now, during the summer, we had a very special moment. Well, for me, it was very, very special. And I think generally, from a global perspective even, it was a very special moment where I had Sajid, who's sitting next to me here. He was my captain during an interfaith game that we played against St. Peter's Cricket Club. And for those of you who don't know, St. Peter's Cricket Club are the official cricket team of Vatican. And obviously they were blessed by the Pope Papa Francesco before they came to here. And like we all said, how do you beat a team that has God on its side? But we had a very memorable game with them at Walthamstow Cricket Club. Sajid was our captain, and I was very, very fortunate to be actually invited by Sajid to participate with the team as a playing team member. Sajid, talk us through a little bit about that memorable game that we played.
It's a memorable game, that an event I will treasure for a long, long time. I mean, being a captain of players who are councillors, who are community leaders, it was unbelievable. Playing against the Vatican side, who were pretty much a good strength side. And obviously in attendance watching the game was Graham Gooch, the legendary Graham Gooch, England and Essex captain. And it was unbelievable. The day was brilliant. Everyone got to play bat and bowl. Emdad Bhaiya, we asked you to come and have a bowl, but you said, no, you're loving you were enjoying the fielding
Yes.
and there's some good boundaries that you stopped on that day as well, which is unbelievable.
I used my football skills in a few as well, actually, if you remember.
Yeah.
So,
no. I saw a bit of goalkeeping skills on that when you dived around on the ground, which was beautiful to see. It's encouraging as any captain. It's encouraging to see that the players who are playing with him and under him are giving them 110%. And that was the beautiful thing, was that we all gelled together so quickly that we sort of played cricket more than only just that day, but it was unbelievable. You know, having two captain sides who are councillors, and so these are good figures in the community. But it was an honour for me to captain side. It was an honour for everyone, and I'm sure as a player, it was an honourship moment for us to represent East London with various different multi-faiths. We had Muslims, Christians, we had Sikhs,
we had Methodists,
we had so many different religions.
Amazing.
And the whole aim was that the powerful aim is to bring all the faiths together, and that's what it was. And mashallah, as I said, it was a beautiful program, and it is one of those moments we'll treasure for a long time for me. And
I hope that we can replicate these experiences in the future as well. It's very, very important. As far as we're concerned, everybody who was there, we had small discussions within ourselves as a team and with the guests that were there. It's very important for us to put in a united front. We live in an age now where certain members from within, it's us at the moment, from within our communities are viewed with suspicion, and we're accused of being, we don't mix with people, we don't interact with people, we're secluded. And this was a breath of fresh air. So congratulations, we say, first of all, to my teammates, and yourself as being our captain and leading from the front as well, but congratulations to everybody who supported us on such an initiative as well. Now, last question for you both is, what are your plans for 2017?
Do you want me to, I'll let Ashfaq go first on that one, I'll come back with it, go on.
2017, my plan to play full season actually, because last season I didn't play full season. So my first plan is to play full season for my team, and inshallah we try to win again, and this time we try to do triple.
I think, Ashfaq Bhai, what we should do, Sajid here as well, is we should have some kind of monitor on Ashfaq Bhai, people like Iqbal Patel and a few of these veterans, and do some comparisons. Either we have a camera following them for as much as resources would allow, and I think it would be fun, not only that, but also for historic purposes, just to put these guys there and maybe even do a presentation on them at the end of the season. Say, right, if these guys are still doing it in their 50s, what excuse have you got? Just something I'm throwing there. Sorry, carry on, I disturbed you there.
No. That's it.
Sorry, and Sajid?
My plan is not that big, not that long.
Well, as I said, we had a roller coaster season this year. We involved ourselves with so many different projects. Having the adult cricket going on in the summer as our solid foundation. We worked with the young members. Hopefully with the young members, we're trying to look at the Leighton Sports Ground as entering them in a match play competition. So having to try and create under 11s, under 13s, under 15s, trying to replicate colt cricket in Leighton, but as a league, not as a club. So anyone is welcome to join that. We also did something which you're very passionate about, is homeless people, which you do wonders with your food banks as well, which is hopefully be rewarded for that. We did something this year we partnered up with Essex and a charitable organisation called Place for You Al Safar. We got street homeless people playing cricket, and these are people who have never played cricket before. Some of them are from Eastern European backgrounds. And what it was, we got different members of society to come, communities made their own, assembled their own teams. We had a match between street homeless people playing the Wolfen Forest housing, and that was a really good game because it was bringing them all together, giving these guys, you know, the people who are suffering, these less fortunate people, they go through real hardship, and bringing them out a day for them. They are the stars of the show. We even gave them awards, and the smile on their faces really this will treasure me the most, to be honest with you. And we want to replicate what we've done this year, and hopefully if there's any other opportunities that we can look at, that cricket can play a part and it can expand the project even more, then we're willing to help.
And I think that this is not the last time that we're going to have the National Cricket League members on our show as well. I find it extremely inspiring, hence I invite people like Sajid back into the studio again and again, simply because of the length and breadth of the volunteering that they do, but also the provision that they provide, you know, all these services that they provide through cricket to the community. And what you can see from the course of this live show is how much people have benefited during the course of the last few seasons as well. I wish them the very best of luck with the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching. That's it from me. Goodbye. Thanks for watching The Sports Show.